Welcome to Pax Europiana here from Frankfurt main station. It's the very same impression I always had in the 90s when I arrived in New York. Yeah? Because this city is very dynamic. You see a lot of skyscrapers and really it's booming, but as well it's very chaotic. Arriving at the Frankfurt train station gives you this feeling that you are in some kind of chaos arrived. You know, there's massive police always, yeah, like here now. There's always the ambulance, like here now. There's always some kind of fist fight or some kind of, here's a knife or something, And it's a full construction site. When you come from Austria, we really don't have the same level of this kind of skyscraper thingies, yeah. That's quite impressive actually here on the main street. But on the other hand, yeah, when you see, for example, the Vienna main station is now several years ready, I think 3 or 4, and it's really meticulously clean. I will make a video about that one. And the whole area around it is high-level residential and booming. I don't know what exactly is in Frankfurt, but it is somehow chaos here. Chaos and impressive kind of center of, but for example, look at it. You cannot give the feeling that this is really very clean. I was already, on this crossing here, the pedestrian crossing with this railway and subway light train station, I always very happy when I cross it because it's total chaos. There are thousands of people running over it, and it's very much not organized in a way. There's a lot of traffic accidents, I'm sure, and you have a lot of people who think that this should be basically a pedestrian crossing, and then you have the light rail and you have the main traffic of the whole city passing by, and it's a bit chaotic because here this is really a big arteria because many people live in the suburbs here. They walk, you see a lot of very rich bankers from these big institutions walking here because they use the public transport towards around the area. And that is actually all somehow good in a way. And then the chaos. It's for me a bit interesting how a city can look like that. I mean, look at it. This is the Karlsplatz of the 1990s in Vienna. This is the Broadway, this main streets in New York. Look, the first time I was in 1991 in New York, and before it was cleaned up. I mean, European cities shouldn't look like that. Look, it's visible, nobody cleaned it for some time. I don't know if there is a breakdown of public order here or what is the problem. I mean, there's no need for a European city to look like that. It's also in the metro station. It's from my personal impression, I principally think I know most of the European cities and I've been to most, maybe not recently, now in the last years, but it's the most dynamic city with the richest people, with the most chaotic train station. There must be some kind of special prize for getting it so wrong in the central business card, and then at the same time being such a rich place because it's the center of our financial system in Europe. It is a very rich place in all aspects because here the real estate prices are amazing, skyrocketing, everything is very dynamic and things are really extremely cool. But, and the places are rich and, these are thousands of euros what that costs. But you can openly say that the welcoming way of this city, for example, very rich place, yes. I mean, is there still somebody at home here in the city administration? I mean, I'm not exaggerating the visible impression when somebody from Singapore, for example, this is the other financial metropolis, and look, the people have big cars, there's visible wealth in this city in all aspects. But imagine somebody comes from Singapore to that city. That's the other big capital, you know. And then you see this kind of level of cleanliness. Yeah? I mean, this is a dirty city. I mean, you don't see anything else. Man, Brussels is also chaotic, it's true. Yeah, so Brussels and Frankfurt are for me very fascinating places, because contrary to my best knowledge, all other European cities which have the public administration, you know, when you go to Kiev, I was not now in the war, but this was a meticulously clean city most of the time. Maybe at the end of the winter a bit less. They lost a little bit the motivation over the winter from time to time. But in principle it was meticulously clean, and every Ukrainian city is much cleaner. And I can say every Balkan city. When you go to Pristina or Tirana, and this kind of level of waste in the public space, this you have seen in Pristina directly after the war, yes. But with independence, this is gone. You don't see any dirt in the public space in Pristina anymore today. And not in the last 12 years. You don't see in Tirana. You know, in Durrës, in the summer when everything is overcrowded, it has also much improved, and it's not perfect, yeah? Because the waste collection system in Albania is complicated, yeah? I say that, yeah? You know, I know that. But when you see this level of waste and a lot of, how can I say, quite dubious personalities next to a lot of bankers which are visibly transcending wealth and power. So this kind of complete chaos that I actually know only from Brussels, and I'm really, everybody thinks it's somehow normal. Maybe that's the chaos of the free market, but this Germany is not so famous for the free market. Not at all. It's simply that Frankfurt is an utterly badly managed town. Or maybe it's just this street, because when you go to other streets, maybe there's a problem in the coordination between the public railway system. That's also possible in the city of Frankfurt. Because when you look, for example, I mean, this is an impressive city. Just the Kaiserstraße is not so imperial. Look at this one, you know, that's an impressive city. You walk around, you see in all aspects wealth, power, and poverty connected as rarely anywhere before. And that's quite impressive for me to show you, because I don't know any other city. Now, Brussels was like that when I lived there. Maybe it's not connected with me, but this is really quite astonishing, and to some aspect also wrong, because how can a city be asking for such property prices and deliver such miserable public services? That is very annoying for me in my taxpayers representative head. I wonder what is wrong with this city at this moment. There must be something quite utterly confusing. I will now go to my favorite place. It's a lot of beautiful moments here I can share with you. You know, here, this is the most impressive, one of the most impressive places. I will go to my accommodation, but I would be amiss if I would not call for the euro. And please, if anybody can clean up Frankfurt, the railway station, it's an utter disgrace for a European capital of this importance to be in such a condition in the year 2022. Because it's not necessary, look at it, you know, this is really impressive, and you see this is really very good. So please clean up this beautiful city. Bye.